The vault that never opens, Fort Mason, California. They say some doors were never meant to open, and when someone tries, the building remembers. In early 1997, during renovations at an old Coast Guard station in Fort Mason, California, a construction crew uncovered a hidden steel vault deep inside the foundation wall. No one even knew it existed. No record, no blueprint, no serial number. The door had no handle, just a dial frozen at 000. Within 48 hours of the discovery, workers started hearing a low vibration under the floor. A steady hum, cold and mechanical, like an engine still running after decades of silence. They figured it was just an old generator line. It wasn't. Archival research later revealed the vault was installed sometime between 1942 and 1944, when Fort Mason served as a naval logistics hub during the war. Painted on the side, barely visible beneath layers of rust, were the faded letters, CG Unit 39B. The code didn't match any known department. Engineers tried ground-penetrating radar. Every pulse bounced back, like the metal absorbed the signal. When they switched to sonar mapping, the reflection showed something irregular inside, almost organic, like something soft pressed against the wall. By the end of that year, the vault was officially labeled Inactive Containment Chamber. Non-hazardous. It was left alone. Then the anomalies began. In 2001, the facility's caretaker, James Heller, noticed a repeating pattern in the power logs. Every night at exactly 3:21 a.m., sensors recorded a 9-second voltage spike. At that same moment, the vault's dial would rotate on its own, resetting back to 0. Every night, always 9 seconds. Heller set up a thermal camera facing the vault. For 7 nights straight, the footage showed subtle shifts in temperature. Cold to warm, warm to cold, like something moving behind the steel. And beneath the hum, faint metallic taps. 3 beats, pause, 3 more. Perfect rhythm. In early 2003, a private engineering team was hired by the Department of Maritime Infrastructure to investigate. Their internal report, declassified years later, described unexplained pressure changes inside the vault. An increase of 0.4 ESI for 12 minutes, followed by a sudden drop, like air being released from within. They tried drilling a narrow inspection hole to collect samples. The instant the bit pierced the surface, instruments spiked. A sharp hiss filled the room. The temperature dropped 10 degrees in under 2 minutes. All cameras went to static. When power came back, the borehole was gone. The metal had sealed itself smooth again, and the dial back to 000. After that, the basement was sealed. Staff were reassigned. The vault was buried behind a new concrete wall, marked non-structural access restricted. Still, workers claimed the sounds never stopped. At night, they heard the same tapping from beneath the floor. Always at 3:21 a.m. Always the same rhythm. 8 years later, in 2011, a Freedom of Information request uncovered fragments of old correspondence between the Coast Guard and the U.S. Navy. The letters referenced something called Containment Unit Series 39. The description mentioned hybrid mechanism storage procedures for experimental signal-based memory containment. No further context was given, but one line remained unredacted. Do not attempt to access Unit 39B after phase deactivation. The internal mechanism will resist that word. Resist sparked new curiosity. By 2019, digital historians and explorers revisited the sealed section of Fort Mason. Using infrared scanners, they detected faint heat signatures behind the concrete barrier. Every reading showed movement, slow, pulsing, consistent with a small mass shifting in 9-second intervals. During an earthquake retrofit in 2020, contractors once again entered the sub-basement. The vault's shell was rusted but intact. Any electronic device brought near it failed instantly. Phones rebooted, cameras died, batteries drained to 0. Within minutes, the vault began to vibrate so slightly that dust lifted off the surface. They left immediately, recording the time. 3:21 a.m. City records say the section was resealed in January 2021. But 2 years later, a maintenance crew inspecting underground wiring heard metallic scraping behind the old containment wall. Thermal scanners picked up alternating temperatures between 57 and 61 degrees, oscillating in that same 9-second rhythm. One technician said it best. It felt like the vault was aware, like it was trying different combinations, waiting for someone to answer. Today, the lower levels of Fort Mason remain closed to the public. Access is restricted to maintenance personnel only. Still, motion sensors in the corridor continue to record brief spikes every night at exactly 3:21 a.m. Those readings have never stopped. The final entry in the 2003 investigation file reads, "Pressure equalized. Internal cycle active. Awaiting external confirmation." No follow-up was ever logged, no official explanation was issued, and yet when the last thermal scan was taken in 2023, analysts found something new. The heat signatures inside the vault were still moving, but this time the pattern no longer matched the old tapping rhythm. It looked like a slow rotation, steady, deliberate, like a dial turning from 0 to 1. Fort Mason, California. Case File 39B. Status: unresolved. They sealed it to keep something inside. But maybe it's been waiting for the right code to let itself out.